than being with somebody that's grounded, that's 9 to 5 every day. I go to work for the man and I don't switch jobs. I'm gonna retire here. I got a pension and a 401k. Like that's completely different than you being a YouTuber and I'm a songwriter. I still understand your drive and your passion and like just those those core values. Like
Understood.
so just off that strength alone, I'ma respect you as a creative and let you create how you freely want to. It don't always have to align with mine. Cause then you gonna be over here in my shit and I'm gonna be like, can you go create the fuck over there and let me do my shit?
Well, talk to me about, all right, so let me give you another scenario. You're a creative, right? But I'm not. But I love you. So how does no. So I want to be clear.
Let's go.
Being a creative does not mean that you're a starving artist. Maybe you are. Maybe your artistry doesn't pay you, but it doesn't mean that you're completely destitute because what's happening? I'm actually getting, right? I'm getting a check. I know how to take care of my family. I'm getting a check. But what does the support look like? How does that work? And how do you align yourself with somebody that's gonna, again, like I said, foster your dreams? I can't be with somebody that can't dream outside of that 9 to 5.
I'll use myself as an example. So I feel like my last relationship, I was married to a non-creative.
Okay.
And it drove me crazy because I was in the studio all the time prior to our relationship. The relationship that I was in beforehand, he was a musician. So me going to the studio was never an issue. He was interested in my music. He came to my shows. He was very supportive. We didn't get along on other shit. But I moved on to somebody that I felt was meeting a need that I knew what it was like to have a creative side met, but I didn't know what it was like to get to be emotionally available and have other needs met. So I put the creative stuff to the side because I was experiencing something new. But once I got that, I still had that urge to create. And once that came out, it wasn't supported. And I was so used to getting...
But you think that was maybe rooted in insecurity as opposed to...
It could have been, but I was so used to I think I automatically transferred it. Okay, when I go to the studio, it's not going to be a problem and it was a problem. And I ended up not going. Completely stopped. I stopped writing, stopped going to the studio, stopped making music. I focused on the household, tried to make it work, tried to suppress it to make it work, and that shit ain't work for me.
Yo, I think it's kind of like, when you go to a strip club, you meet a stripper. It's cool when y'all start dating, right? And then a couple of months later, you like, all right, you're gonna have to stop that.
I'm gonna stop shaking it. Right.
Niggas
is coming at me.
Yeah, I don't like it. But you liked it though. That's how you met her. You liked it. So I feel personally that's a little unfair to you. I don't like drive killers. You know what I mean? Don't kill my drive.
Right.
Nigga, find your drive. Don't kill mine.
Right.
You understand? I had the idea of this is what I wanted to do. I knew how I was gonna do it. Right? You were okay with it when you met me. You thought the shit was sexy. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then a couple of months later, it's like, yeah, no, about that thing that you do. Nah, I think that we don't realize when we're killing somebody's drive. Like somebody could come to me right now with the most, and it's outside of a relationship, but somebody can come to me right now with the most ridiculous idea. You know what I'm gonna do?
Support it?
Nah. No. But I am going to try to firm it up, though.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit there and just poke holes in it. And I have friends that can attest to that.
Yeah.
You come to me with something, especially, being older. I don't think that I know anybody, that has outlandish ideas that just think that, riding in the car upside down is a good idea and this is how we going to do it. And I'm like, what problem are we solving with that?
That part.
So I don't have friends like that come to me with that. But if you come to me with something I would deem to be ridiculous, I'm not going to kill your dreams. Let's try to talk through it and firm it up. That's what I would do.
Communication is key in everything. So
a lot of people get the communication thing confused too. They think that communicating is just talking. You got to know how to communicate.
Right. And you got to know how to receive it too.
You got to know your audience.
Sometimes you have to learn how to say the hard thing and hear the hard thing too. Everybody can't do both.
Pulse. Sorry.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I was feeling uncomfortable. I don't think that you should have did that to me in that moment.
Some people have to learn to say the difficult thing and hear the difficult thing.
Amen
And
to
everybody
that.
cannot do both.
Amen to that.
You are so fucking
Nah, but the remix was crazy. I like it. I like it. I like the remix.
And it's like, so to our next point, the communication. Like, if, like you said, if the okayness changed with me going to the studio, it should have been communicated, but it wasn't. I felt a shift. I felt the lack of support. I felt it wasn't hey, I don't feel comfortable with you going to the studio. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It won't none of that. It was just a shift. So with the communication, like I said, you gotta be able to say the thing that's difficult for you to be all right. Because if you holding it, the resentment's gonna show.
Let me see. The biggest downfall in business and personal relationships is poor communication, and this is true. Just like you said. All right, look, for relationships, discussing financial expectations, roles, and responsibilities early. Yes. Because I guess that's just basically shoring up what?
Communicate, like...
You met me in a strip club. I had that elephant trunk thong on, feel me? And I was just basically doing I was doing my Kevin Hart, the daddy, when he was going through the aisle. I was doing that, and you thought the shit was cute, right? Hold on. And then 4 months later, you like, yo, about that Tarzan swing. We not doing that no more. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Well, at least I ain't selling pics of my feet.
I'll punch you in your gray. I will punch you in your motherfucking gray. If y'all ain't seen that episode, just I'm gonna punch this motherfucker.
Nigga, I wish I could sell pictures of my feet. You understand where I'm going with it? All right, it's a whole other topic. No, but that whole thing. Let's talk about, all right,
sure.
So let's put a personal touch on it.
Sure.
Hold on, I had another foot joke in my head, but I'm gonna leave it alone. So let's put a personal touch on it.
If y'all see this motherfucking next episode, he ain't got none of this shit here. Y'all know what the fuck happened. All this shit just gone.
Yeah. So my wife is a creative, right? Shout outs to Heightened Heels that I've been saying like every other episode. It's like
every
Freudian.
Every.
Yeah, that whole thing. Freudian slip and all of that. But she's a creative. And I thank God that she's a creative. Because the struggles and the shit that I go through, I'm not whining and, whatever,
True.
crying on her shoulder. But I can mention it and she'll understand exactly
True.
where I'm coming from. You understand? And we can help each other out. We do help each other out with regards to editing and all this other stuff, even though we do two different things. But neither here nor there. I don't think that I could have married a woman that's not a creative. Right? Or even...
it's not a mistake.
You listen, I could go as far as to say an entrepreneur, right? Because shout outs to all the 9-to-5ers. Like, I'm a 9-to-5er too.
As am I.
Yeah, but I'm part of the Underground Railroad too. So
No,
I'm hustling. We hustling motherfuckers up out of
Right.
there, to get to where we need to go, the
Right.
promised land, take it back to 1950s, but, flip that shit on its head, whereby we're the master and, we're able to do that thing.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think that I could have married anybody else that wasn't an entrepreneur or a creative, and I lucked out and got both,
So discussing just discussing things early keeps all the bullshit away later.
I mean, it can, but there's only but so much you can discuss up front. Because remember, we're just like you say,
we're evolving all the time.
Amen.
Shit changes.
Amen.
But as a creative, you understand shit changes. You might not know what it is, but as a creative, you're evolving all the time.
Yeah. Pivot
All the
is
time.
part of your lexicon when you're a creative or an entrepreneur, because you constantly have to do so.
But if you're talking about shit early, you can talk to your partner or your friend, your business partner, your romantic partner about the ways that they are able to support, so you can see where they're lacking and get the support elsewhere if they're not able to do that, though.
Yeah.
So
Good.
like as a like Shadra's a content creator,
Yeah.
we do podcasting and I do music. Like we're all, and if I can't support you in a podcast in 1 week, I can say that, and that will allow you to kind of get your support elsewhere and get your needs met, and not solely depend on what you expecting from me. If I can communicate that, you can pivot like you need to, and it won't be such a burden, and it won't catch you off guard. It won't be a hindrance because I've communicated what I can and can't do.
Correct.
So
Correct.
if you
but you don't always want to have to, step up to the podium and communicate certain things, i.e., supporting certain posts and stuff like that, and which is a whole other story. But you don't want. What the fuck is she doing upstairs? You hear Thunderfoot upstairs?
New Jerusalem.
Fucking 1:30 in the morning. This bitch getting up to get donuts.
My nigga, I almost want to move the table over just in case the bitch come through the floor.
Nah, that's a lawsuit. Like the chick that couldn't get into the fucking cab. We good.
Nigga, I ain't breaking my neck. That bitch is not finna fall on me.
No, I push you out the way.
Thank
you know what I mean? But we gotta let her come through the ceiling, and then we got the cameras and all of that. We need to catch all of that.
And you know that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I was talking about because bitch, I got a concussion.
Shut the hell up.
Had a fucking concussion.
Manifesting.
Knowing when to walk away. When a partnership isn't serving you anymore, how do you professionally or personally move without burning bridges?
Man, I keep a matching gas with me.
But see, that's the fucked up thing.
I know.
I can't, because and when shit goes on with me and I tell you, the first thing you tell me is like, yo, you're going to have to temper all of that. You can't. And I be wanting to. Because I don't understand. This is my thing. I don't understand how you could do something to me, but then I'm the asshole. All right, we're going to leave it alone. Listen. So, yeah, go ahead.
When a partnership is not, I've evolved into this version of me though.
Yeah.
Lesser evolved, just burn the bridge down. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never got to come back this way. I'll go another way. I'll find another way.
100%.
But now I look at kind of how you were saying about your friend earlier. Like you're still friends. You kind of chucked up the loss. If the losses are outweighing the wins, like maybe like I'm okay with having a conversation now.
Yeah.